We're now joined by Bob Guarasci, who is Chief Executive Officer of an organization called New Jersey Community Development Corporation. Good to see you, Bob.
It's great to see you, Steve.
You know, I don't know how many years ago it was, but our mutual friend Vaughn McCoy took me on a tour through your organization in Paterson, based in Paterson, New Jersey. We'll put your website up. And I was blown away by the work that you and your colleagues are doing in so many fronts. But as we do this program, as we end 2021, describe the most important work that the corporation is doing and how it impacts the people of Paterson.
Well, it's hard to pin it down to any one thing, Steve. We are a comprehensive community development and social service agency, and each day we serve 4,000 children and families. And so it could be our 900-student charter school. It could be our teen centers, our after-school programs. It could be the 100 individuals that we've taken off the street, moving them from homelessness to apartments of their own, housing for people with developmental disabilities, homeless youth. So we do take this comprehensive approach, and I guess it would be like asking a parent to pick his or her favorite child. It's really just difficult to do.
Talk about the Great Falls Promise neighborhood. What is it?
The Great Falls Promise neighborhood is a area of about 90 blocks in Paterson, fanning out from the historic falls. And it's a very low-income neighborhood, and it's where we do most of our work. When I started this organization 27 years ago, I looked at the entire city of Paterson as our footprint. We decided, though, that by taking a more place-based approach, taking a page out of the book of the Harlem's Children's Zone, if you will, that we could have much greater impact if we focused on a particular neighborhood. And so that's what we've been doing for the last dozen years. Our key objective is to work with the 8,000 students who either live or go to school in our neighborhood, helping them with everything we can in the context of moving to college and career.
Bob, we're part of an initiative that you know well. It's been 4 years now, Reimagine Childcare Initiative. Childcare is a big piece of what you and your colleagues do, early childhood learning. Talk about that, and what does it mean to, quote, reimagine childcare, particularly as we end 2021, going close to 2 years of facing COVID. What does it mean to reimagine childcare from your perspective?
Sure. For us, I think reimagining childcare has to do with working with parents, first-time parents, even before they have their child. And so in that context, we've started—
Is that what the Parent Academy is?
Parent Academy, exactly. And through Parent Academy, we do work with expecting first-time parents so that they can understand what they'll face once the baby is born. And it covers topics that include everything from bonding to a baby's health, nutrition, developmental milestones, and the like. And it's really been so helpful to scores and scores of first-time parents here in Paterson who understand what it's going to be like and makes it that much easier once their child is born.
Is that what Cradle to Career? It's interesting. Cradle to Career is one of the things you told our producers.
Well, Cradle to Career is in fact the approach that we take, and you could even say pre-cradle, if you will, when I talk about
right.
Parent Academy. But we have programs that span the entire continuum of a young person's life, from the time they are born through elementary and grade school and middle school, high school, and then beyond. And one of the areas that we're hoping to expand our impact is in the area of college readiness, so that as many Paterson students as possible not only go on to college, but finish college.
Hey, Bob, the Paterson Family Center, preschoolers, make the connection, but also the impact of COVID on those preschoolers.
Sure. Well, here in Paterson, because we follow the calendar of the public school district, the preschool was closed for the entirety of March 2020 until just this past September. So those students—
September 2021.
Well, correct. So they were not in class for really a full 18 months. And there's no doubt that that has had a dramatic impact on their readiness to learn, and ultimately their readiness to go on to kindergarten. We tried our best through remote learning, which I think is particularly challenging with 3 and 4-year-olds. But nonetheless, I think we've made an impact. What we're finding now that we've returned, is that there are some parents who are reluctant to have their child come back, feeling maybe that it's not necessary to go to preschool and risk their child's health. What we're doing is trying to convince them that we've done everything humanly possible to make the space as safe as possible, and that it's much more important that they have their kids come to our preschool and set the foundation for a good educational career.
Before I let you go, Bob, I'm curious about this. It's not in the notes. It's not in anything I was going to be asking you, but you know about this. Paterson, if I'm not mistaken, has one of the highest vaccination rates in the nation.
Yes.
Right? Really high. In a community that's largely black and brown.
Yes,
What role, if any, has your organization played in that, and what is the lesson for the rest of the region, if you will, where we're broadcast, and for the nation? Please, Bob.
The lesson really is one of leadership. Our mayor, Andre Saya, really has made this a prime objective of his time in office, tackling this crisis in a just incredible way. And he's enlisted not only our organization, but the entirety of the nonprofit community here in the city of Paterson to work with him to ensure that we could reach that milestone that we have of 85% of individuals being vaccinated. So it's about leadership on all levels. It's about a single-minded focus, and it's really about being as creative as possible and reaching people who might not otherwise want to get vaccinated.
That's Bob Guarasci, founder and CEO of New Jersey Community Development Corporation. Bob, good to see you. Keep up the important work that you and your colleagues are doing in Paterson every day. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Steve. It's good to see you, too.
Same here. I'm Steve Adubato. We'll be right back.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Atlantic Health System, the Russell Berry Foundation, the Turrell Fund, supporting Reimagine Childcare, PNC, Grow Up Great, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, Johnson & Johnson, Summit Health, the Fidelco Group, and by the North Ward Center. Promotional support provided by AM 970 The Answer and by CIANJ and Commerce Magazine.
How do you create change? By cultivating hope. And we see that every day. In the eyes of our preschoolers, in the souls of the seniors in our Adult Day program, in the minds of the students at Robert Treat Academy, a national Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, in the passion of children in our Youth Leadership Development Program, in our commitment to connections at the Center for Autism, and in the heart of our community, the North Ward Center, creating opportunities for equity, education, and growth.